Good morning and welcome, everyone. I'm Jean with Captain Stitches. Thank you for joining me this morning for my Friday Stitch and Chat. And as previously mentioned, I will be working on a beautiful, cute quilt. I meant to say quick, that wasn't coming out. Cute, quick quilt is a tongue twister. I just realized that. But anyway, I will be working on this Charming Lucy quilt that uses charm squares and a solid fabric to go with it this morning, and I will be making that for charity. And I did put in the description box for this video and also in my community tab the other day the link for that free pattern if you would like to join along, or if you would like to make the quilt after you see me working on it this morning. But you will find it there. And just a quick overrun on that. Let me say hello to a few people first. Hello, Danielle. Hello, our treasured home, Nancy. Hello, Katie Crafts, Lori Clark. Welcome, welcome. Oh, thank you very much, Nancy. Yes, I got a haircut yesterday. And thank you, Carol. It's great to see you this morning. All you need to make this cute little, it's a baby toddler size quilt, is a charm pack or 36 5-inch squares. If you want to cut them out of your stash, that will work too. And then you need a solid coordinating fabric that you will need 2.5-inch strips for that. And you will need them for the little corners of the squares. I think you'll need about 72 of those. And then you will also need them for the sashing strips, both vertically and horizontally. And that's all there is to this quilt. Super simple. And according to your whatever charm pack you choose, it can be all different kinds of themes, seasonal, everything like that. Let me check out some more that are popping on. Hello, Kathy Riles. Welcome, welcome. And hello, Susan from Sewing Sensations by Shady Susan. That's a tongue twister as well. And Danielle is saying hello to everyone. So, thank you, Susan. Very comfortable. Glad to have the hair off the back of my neck. I will say that. But okay, so I think we are ready to start stitching. I will show you. This is the type block that we will be making. And then we will be sewing those with the sashing into rows like this. And there will be 3 rows of 3 of the blocks with the sashing in between connected together. So let me set that off to the side for now, and I will show you how we make the blocks. Moving everything around here. Okay. So first of all, you are going to take and choose 4 of your charm squares, and you are going to have your little 2.5-inch squares cut, and it will have, you can draw a diagonal line down there, or you can just do it however you choose, but you will need to have those on 2 of the corners with the diagonal line going this way. And I'm going to go ahead and start sewing those on. And I have a notification right in the way of the chat there. Okay. Welcome, Mary Wilson. Good to see you again today. And also, that is it so far. Okay, so I pinned these on this one just so that I would have it ready. When you are stitching on the diagonal for flip, you want to, I'm going to switch that one off there. Whichever side is the top. You want to make sure that when you stitch across your diagonal line, that you are 1 to 2 stitches off that line on the side that the top of the square is. And we'll put that other one back there on the bottom so that I know where it is. So I have my machine set up, and I'm going to sew those on real quickly. And I'm going to sew 4 of the squares at a time, because that's how many you need for a block. And it goes very quickly. Hello, Tracy. I think I missed you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. This is a quilt that you could make in an afternoon or an evening if you were just sat down at your machine and had everything already pre-cut and ready to go. Doesn't take any amount of time at all. Katie, I'm off to a slow start today, going to work on Bob's Christmas gift. Have lots of extra blocks from his quilt to make a throw. That's awesome, Katie. My husband's name is Bob. I could take that as, oh, are you making my husband a quilt? No, I'm sure it is your husband instead. Oh, good morning, Kathy from Kathy Quilts. Great to see you. And thank you, Tracy. She says that my cottage studio looks bright and pretty. Thank you very much. It is very, very bright in here. I get a lot of light in here. I love it. In fact, I had to close the one blind this morning because the sun was coming in right in my eyes. So I will open that a little later after the sun changes position. I'm just thankful for the beautiful sunshine out there this morning. Well, I'm stitching. If I miss anyone's comments, I don't mean to. It's just that they might slip by while I'm looking down sewing at the sewing machine. So if I do miss and it's something that you're asking that you want answered, don't be afraid to ask it again. So I will see it. Lori says it's a paperwork morning for her. Lori Clark is always business. But we love that she still shows up to be able to follow along and chat with us when she can. And there is Gladys, the confident quilter. Good morning, good morning. Yes, I'm in Ohio also, Tracy. It's a beautiful sunshiny day here this morning. How many of you are working on baking Christmas goodies today? Or some of you, I'm sure, already have some made. I have purchased all my ingredients and everything, but I haven't started baking yet. Raining in Texas. Katie says it's been a super busy week between your projects and your quilting students' quilts. She's just learning, but is so enthusiastic that it's been fun to help her. That's awesome. Awesome. Love to teach new quilters. It's always exciting. So now what I'm going to do is on each one of these, I'm going to trim a 1/4 inch from that diagonal line, which I will go ahead and see if I can tilt this down a ways. I won't be able to see the chat too well while I'm doing that though. So again, if I miss your comments, I'm sorry, but when I tilt it down, I cannot see the comments, but you can see how I am putting my ruler on here at the 1/4 inch and trimming the outer part of those off. And so you end up with something that looks like that until you press them out. And I will do that on all 4 of these. And I'm throwing them over there on my pressing surface so I can press them as the next step. Good morning, Mona. It's awesome to see you today. All the Ohio ladies are in the house. Yay for Ohio. Yay for everybody's state. Okay. And I will sew all these little pieces later and make a miniature doll quilt or something out of them. But now I am going to press these. I'm going to slide this back up quick so I can see if I missed any comments. No, everybody just talking. Thank you, Susan. Yes, don't forget that thumbs up. Really helps. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to press these that direction on all 4 of them. Oops. Didn't want to turn. So now we have all 4 of them pressed. So they look like that. And we are going to lay them out like it shows for the block, like that. So I'm going to take and just start laying them out. If I don't like the position of them, I will change some around, which I'm going to show you real quick. I don't know if you can see. It probably does. Yeah. I don't like because the butterflies are going the wrong direction on this block. So I am going to, I'm going to switch it out with, we'll see. Well, we have to switch it out with that one for it to go the right direction. Leave that up there. I'm going to switch these 2 now. Until we get it to where we like the look of the block. And I like that. So that's what I'm going to stay with. So then the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to sew the top row and the bottom row. And I'm going to double check, make sure everything's going the right direction. For everything to be all the right direction, all your solid colors should come together in the middle. And they should be on all 4 corners of the block. Then you know everything is laid out correctly. So I'm going to flip those over. I'm going to flip you back up. Doing a lot of flipping today. Thank you, Mona. Yes, I did. I got it cut yesterday. Thank you, Tracy. She says she loves the colors. Yes, it's going to be a bright, cheerful quilt. I love it. It'll bring joy to some needy child. And I'm just going to finger pin these. I'm not going to use pins. where that clip is on the triangles, you can kind of feel that with your fingernail to know when they're lined up. And because the directions say to press the seams open, I'm going to press them open. I do not normally press my seams open, but I will on this one. And to make it a little easier when you get over to the iron, I'm going to finger press them open first. Mona also likes the colors. The name of this, which it's an older charm pack, but it is called Brighten Up, and it is by Moda, Me and My Sisters. Would love it if my sisters were here with me out in the cottage today. But they live in Minnesota. One of these days, it would be great for us all to have a visit here together again. That would be awesome. If you have any questions at all, when it gets to sewing the blocks together, I do pin just to make sure everything is lined up accurately. Little farther distance there to sew, so I do pin those. And we're going to sew that center seam. Make sure you remove your pins. Do not sew over them. You could ruin your machine, and you could also injure yourself by doing that. You don't want anyone injured while quilting, and we don't want them to have to take their sewing machine in to be repaired. That's never a good thing. Okay. And I also am going to press this seam open. So again, I'm finger pressing that open again. Makes it much easier when you get over to the iron. And there we have our block completed. So we will sew another one while we chat. And what I do is I have these all set up. So I just take my block, add them all to the corners. Of course, making sure you put that diagonal line facing the correct way. And I set all 4 of them up before I start sewing them. Quicker, faster that way. Yes, I do have thick hair, Katie. Very happy that I do, because as we get older, it thins out. So I still have pretty thick hair yet. Old Cat says it's time for her second breakfast. I added omega-3 oil for her first meal of the day, and it's really helped her. She looks so much better, and her fur is nice and silky again. That's awesome, Katie. And Shady Susan wants to know where you get the omega-3 oil for your cat from. Thank you, Tracy. My poor dog doesn't want to eat anything right now. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, I like the butterfly fabric as well. That's one of my favorites. I like the one that looks kind of like lifesavers too, is what I call it. It's not a lifesaver, but the little round wheels. I think that's a cute fabric on it too. But they're all quilt. And if you use a Moda, charm pack, because you only need 36 of the squares, you will have, I think about 6 left over, something like that. Oops. Glad I double checked that. I had that one laying the wrong direction. Okay, so now I'm going to sew these the same way I did the first ones again, real quick. I am sewing on a Janome 6600P, which is the professional memory craft. I've had it since they first came out with it. It is a workhorse, and I love it. Has the built-in walking foot with all the different walking feet also that you can use. Has the larger stitch area. It has the fast speed stitching. It's an awesome, awesome sewing machine. Knock on wood. I've never had to have anything repaired on it. And I can't remember the year I purchased it, but it's been quite a while. Thank you for the question, Mary. I have never tried fish. Well, I think fish oil has been in some of their dog food, but I've never given it to them separately. We had three Yorkies, Toby, Gracie, and Katie Sue. Toby was the first one to pass away. He passed way too soon. He had kidney failure, very unexpectedly. Gracie passed away, maybe about six months, maybe a little bit longer than that ago. And Katie Sue is 15 years old. You're starting to see definitely her age. She is almost blind, is hard of hearing. Having some issues with her hips. And she has decided she barely likes anything to eat anymore. Very, very picky and getting very, very expensive taste for a few days. And then she decides she doesn't like that anymore either. So we're having quite the time in dealing with finding things that she will eat, so she will eat enough to get the nutrients that she needs. Okay, and I'm trimming off all of these corners now again. And then I think I will have enough of the blocks sewn together that we will go ahead and I will show adding the sashing on between them and sewing a row together. So you'll all be able to see the entire process that goes into this cute, quick little charm quilt. Why it's a great one for making for charity. Not only charity, anyone that you may have in your family or wanting to make a quilt for. And again, I'm going to press all these. And remember, in quilting, we press. We don't iron. We don't slide our iron back and forth. We pick it up and place it down. And make sure your fingers are out of the way so you don't get burnt. And those are all pressed. Again, that is what they look like individually. Your girls are both very young and very picky about their food. Yeah, they can be picky at any time. Just not used to them totally changing their mind on what they like to eat so quickly. Oops. Well, this is one. That's wrong. There we go. We have to make sure we got them all going the right direction again. Boy, this one has a lot of purple. Well, I switched that, and I switched it because I didn't want the polka dots right above and below each other. We're going to go with that. Once they're all put together, it won't matter as much. Need to check the time. Thank you, Mary, and hello, welcome. And there's Rita from Rita's Roost. Thank you. She also likes the new hairstyle. Thank you very much. For those of you that have seen me go from the long to the medium to the little shorter, and now this, I am doing it in slow increments in changing the length instead of a drastic change all at once. So I can decide along the way how I really like it. Those of you that have known me for years or have seen previous old photos or videos know that I used to have my hair super short. And so, Christine, you forgot to set your clock. Oh no, but that's okay. You're here. Plenty of time. We've only been on for a half an hour. So, and I'm still sewing one of the basic blocks together, so you haven't missed much at all. And of course, those of you that have missed anything can always go back and watch the replay. And again, the link for the free pattern is included in the description box, and you can also find it on the community tab where I shared it there also. Originally, I found this pattern through Mona. One of the ones she found that we were talking about sewing on for charity. And because of the little break that I had, I'm just now getting a chance to get back to it and do that. It is great to be back. I haven't been at the sewing machine for over a month, which is very, 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 very unusual for me because I normally stitch, a minimum of 8 hours a day. So yesterday when I started preparing for this live for today, it really felt great to get back to quilting and piecing again. Christine says that she made one for her neighbor across the street for her newborn. Awesome, Christine. And Mona is switching to her iPad. Okay. Sticking a few pins in here just to make sure everything stays lined up correctly. After I sew this one, I am going to piece one of the rows together so you can see how that is done. And again, make sure you take those pins out. Don't sew over them. Don't want anybody getting injured. I'm live on YouTube. Sorry, my husband just walked in the door. I'm reminding him that I'm live.
I hope so.
Pardon?
Well, I hope so. Otherwise, I'd have to go see the burial site.
Oh, and I told him I'm live. He said, well, I hope so. Don't come through. I know. Okay, so now we have another block together, and we are going to press that seam open as well. And I finger press, so it's just easier when you get over to the iron. I need a red light and a green light outside my door. That's okay. Okay, so there we have that block. So now I am going to take 3 of the blocks, move some of this out of my way, but we don't We don't want those two together. Sometimes it takes a little switching around. Just so we don't have too many of the same blocks touching. Let's see what else I have here. We are having loads of fun playing around here. Okay, we had too many butterflies going on. Oh, and we have a notification in the way of reading. Christine said hello to Bob. I'm sorry, he's already gone. Hello, Sharon. Welcome, welcome. And thank you. Your husband does the same thing. Yeah, I guess it's okay. He forgot. I did let him know I was going to be live, but sometimes I don't think he understands the difference in what type of live. So, but that's okay. Okay, so I have the sashing strips already cut. So I'm going to lay those down where they go in between the blocks, and one on this end. I'm going to turn it over so I remember which is the right side and the wrong side on that one, since it's flopped over the edge here a little bit. Stick a pin in that. Go ahead and pin that one on. We need one between these two. Let me put that down a little so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just adding the sashing in between them, and one goes on each end as well. And I'm just sticking a quick pin on them. So, like I said, I remember which is the right side of the fabric. Because as many of you know on solids, it can sometimes be very hard to tell the right side from the wrong side. Okay. So I have those attached. So now I'm going to sew them first on each block, which the middle block will only have one on one side because the sashing is on the other side. And the end one will also only have one on the end because it will meet up with the one that is between. So we are going to sew those on real quickly. Bring you back up so I can read the comments. Lori says her husband ignores her unless he's hungry. My craft room rule is don't bother me. Oh, I don't mind him coming in at all, but it's okay. Just usually doesn't happen when I'm live or when I am taping a video. Hello, Shirley, around to it. Welcome, welcome. Great to see you. And Teresa Louise, good morning. And thank you for the compliment on my haircut. I'm just going to stick a pin in there at the beginning and the bottom just to help, since I'm chatting and not paying as close attention, to make sure I sew that on correctly. And of course, we're sewing these on with your basic 1/4 inch seam, which I always do a scant 1/4 inch. And I am going to stick a little pin there so I know that's the top in my first block, so I don't get confused on that. And I'm going to press it quick, and you're pressing these toward the sashing. So that first block looks like that with the sashing strips sewn on. And I'm going to lay it over there so it's in the position of which order it is in the row. And I'm going to sew the sashing on the left side of the next block. Actually, the right side. Not the left. And press it right away towards the sashing. And lay it on that other one exactly where it goes, which I'm going to go ahead and sew that right away just so they don't get out of order. And then we'll do the last one as the last step there. And I'm going to press that seam open. No, I'm not. I'm going to press it towards the sashing, just like all the others. And so we are getting there. This is our first one, second one, and I have the last one to sew right here. Hello, Giselle. Welcome. We are doing all right, Giselle. Doing okay. Just don't want to dwell on that. So today we are doing okay. Thank you, Giselle. It is really great to see you. It's great to see everyone. I have missed all of you. I'm glad to be back. Okay, so now we're going to add that one onto our row. Making sure everything lines up correctly. We'll press that real quick towards the sashing. So that is our second row to our quilt, which we can go ahead and add on to our first row because I already put that other long sashing strip between the rows on there. So I'm going to make sure this is going the correct direction first. Get the one that I just sewed, and we will add that on so you can get an idea of how that will look also. And we're going to take that pin out of there so we don't end up sewing it. And this I am going to pin. What time do you go live? It's this evening, right, Gladys? And I know Mona goes live at, I believe it is 1 o'clock. Forget the exact time for yours, Gladys. Thank you, Rita. 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Those are the only 2 time zones I know. You'll have to figure the other ones out on your own. Oh. I was going to say, where is my... Oh, there isn't sashing to match there because it's got the long one in between there. I was thinking I had to match those, but... So we need to go to this end so we make sure that we've got it all even in between there. And I do that. I'm going to show you how I do that since this is a smaller one. I kind of pull it and stretch, and I hold on to those, and I walk my fingers up so nothing is moving to the center, and put a pin there. And that way everything I know is going to line up correctly. And we can just go between our pins then and make sure everything is laying flat and even. Of course, when you have a larger quilt, you can't do that way, but on a smaller one, it works very well. Okay, so we are ready to sew this together. Thank you, Kathy. Hello, Darlene. Miss Kino No Show. Showing up today. It is great to see you. Thank you for popping on and joining us. We've got this timed pretty well for the progress that I'm making. Phew. I'm going to reach down here. Got a heater down here. It's getting a little warm. Got to turn that down. Thank you, Gisela, for reminding them of the thumbs up. And I love the heart and the Christmas tree as well. It doesn't look right now like Ohio is going to have a white Christmas. I think we're supposed to possibly get a little bit of flurries on Sunday night, evening, maybe Monday morning, but nothing that's going to amount to anything or stick on the ground. Sorry for that little tidbit of information, Nancy. Our treasured home, I know you are so wanting snow, you and Anastasia. I want enough to call it a white Christmas, but since I have to do all the driving, I really don't want a lot of snow and definitely don't want any ice. Okay, we have that sewn, and I'm going to press it toward I want to press it towards the sashing, so I'm going to lay it this direction on my ironing board, and I'm going to set that seam first. And then we will have the unveiling once again of how this looks. Much easier to do this on the larger ironing station, but that's okay. It works, just a little bit more tedious. You can have fun piecing and working on a quilt in whatever area you have. It doesn't have to be a big, large area. Make do with the space you have and enjoy it. Okay. Looking for my top. Where's my pin? There it is. Oh, and I can't see. I think I'm going to stand up and back up so I can see and you can get an idea of how that's going to look. It only has one more row to go on there. But that is going to be the little Charming Lucy quilt for charity. It should end up measuring at approximately 35 by 35 inches. If you wanted it larger, you could, of course, add an additional border around it to make it larger, add more blocks to make it larger. That's just the size. And of course, you're going to need more charm squares, more sashing and everything if you do enlarge it. But those are our final three and the one left that I haven't sewn together yet. So there you have it. And I was able to accomplish that in 1 hour. I had a longer amount of time planned in for it if we needed it, but I think that I got all the steps in there. So if you are wanting to try doing that quilt, if there's anything you need to look back on, you can go ahead and watch the replay of this video for any tips or anything that you may have missed if you are wanting to make that beautiful, charming Lucy quilt. And again, that is a pattern by Andy Knowlton of abrightcorner.com, and the link for it is in the description box below. So Nancy says she's okay. She will get snow one day. Lori says no presents for us this year, just a big dinner for 3. New vehicle stole our extra cash. Oh, I'm calling it the Grinch. Oh, we don't exchange gifts anymore, my husband and I, and the kids are way too far away. So you know how that works. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Congratulations on the new vehicle, though, Lori. I think that's a great Christmas present. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and thank you for saying it was a great live stream. Thank you very much. And Gisela says she will watch the replay on what she missed. Thank you. It is, like I said, great to be back. I'm a little rusty maybe, but hey, it's all good. And I hope that you have enjoyed this format on Fridays. Of course, you know that on Mondays is just my casual Monday morning stitch and chat, where I work on something by hand just while chatting casually with you. And then on Friday, I have a more informational stitch and chat where I actually work on something and hopefully help to teach you something or give you some tips along the way on what I may be working on. That is my schedule for right now. And then I also do my weekend review on Sundays. It is recorded, so it is just dropped at any time on Sunday as it works out. But that goes over everything that I have accomplished and worked on during the week here in the Stitching Cottage. So as long as no one has, Gisela says she buys fabric from hubby. Huh, okay, that's nice. Oh, you buy, I think you probably mean you buy fabric for yourself as a gift from your husband. Okay. I was going to say, oh, it'd be great to have a husband that has a fabric stash that we can buy from. Sometimes you have to read the comment twice to get the gist of it. Oh. And thank you, Tracy, for wishing everyone a great rest of their day. Thank you, Gisela. As I said, it's great to be back. And Gladys saying goodbye to everyone. So I'll give you a few more minutes to say goodbye. And remember, if you haven't, give it that thumbs up. And go ahead and feel free to share any of my live streams or videos out to other people you think may be interested, or let them know about Kept in Stitches. Would be much appreciated. I have some great things coming up for you all in the new year that I'm excited about, and I hope you will all be just as excited as I am, but you'll have to keep tuning back to find out what those are, because I'm not sharing it with you yet. So stay tuned, everyone. And again, have a great afternoon, everyone. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye. And don't forget, in the meantime, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye.